Hey, what's going on? Welcome to Water Your Soil. So this video is going to be about the pros and cons of AutoPay and whether or not you should be using self-pay. So I'll get into the pros and cons. If you're someone who's new to credit cards, you want to watch this video from the beginning to the end. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we're discussing AutoPay. Some of you may be wondering in regards to AutoPay, like, why would it be a con with AutoPay? And I'm going to get into that right off the bat. I'll list the con of AutoPay first. So the con is people tend to forget how much they spend. Of course, you all may know AutoPay is when you set up through your credit card company for your bill to be paid on a certain date per cycle. So let's say you set it up to have your bill paid on the 24th of every month. Your bill is going to be paid on the 24th of every month. And normally they let you select how you want to pay it. If you want to do the minimum payment, the full balance, statement balance, they let you set it up that way. So that's what AutoPay is. Basically, they take the money out of your account and pay your bill for you on that select day. Now, there is a con, as I was previously stating, there is a con to this. People can get in the habit of just, auto paying all their bills and all their credit cards to the point where they never look at their statements. They never look at their statements and see how much they owe on their statement, nor do they see how much they spent on their specific statement. And that could be a problem long term, especially when it comes to finances and things like that, because you don't know how much you're spending. You just know that all your bills are getting paid on time and you're never late with paying a bill, which is a good thing. But if you don't know how much you're spending or what you're spending money on, that's kind of bad from a budgeting standpoint. But I will say this, there's another con as well. If you're new to credit and you're new to credit cards, and you're trying to teach yourself discipline as far as paying your bills on time and being responsible and being disciplined, AutoPay may not be the way to go. Your way may be self-pay until you get in the habit of being disciplined and paying your bills on time. Now, like I said, it's all subjective because it could work either way. Some people may be better off with AutoPay. They may necessarily need AutoPay because maybe they forget. Maybe they're too busy to know when they have to pay their bills. But if you really want to get a grasp of money management and managing how much you spend every month and knowing where that money is being allocated and where it's going, self-pay may be the best direction for you to head in. Because when I was on my credit journey, I started out with self-pay. Like, I wanted to be on top of it. I hated owing people. I still to this day hate owing people. So I will always want to be on top of it and always make sure that I paid on time. Now, I had a habit. I was so on top of it that whenever I got my bill, I would pay. Maybe that was the anxiety in me. Who knows? Maybe it was the fact that I hated owing people. But whenever I would get my bill, I would pay immediately. I know some people probably like, what? Why would you do that? But that's just how I was. I would pay immediately because I hated the fact of owing people. I hated the thought of it, the burden that came along with it, with owing people. So it was better for me to just pay on my own and not set an AutoPay date to where I gotta wait for the money is taken out and the bill is paid. I like the control that I had over my own finances and my own bills. So starting out for me, AutoPay wasn't the best option. It wasn't the best option. Self-pay was the way to go. Now for you, depending on what type of person you are and what type of lifestyle you lead, if you're a busy person, then AutoPay may be the way to go because you'll always have your bills paid on time. Now, one thing I will say, if you are someone who selects to have your bills auto-paid, one thing that you need to make sure is that you're paying your statements balances in full. Don't go and select the minimum payment thing. You're cheating yourself. You're cheating yourself because you're not paying the full thing off. You're carrying over balances and you're going to be paying interest to the credit card company. So don't cheat yourself like that. If you're someone who's busy and you can't pay your bills, you know, and you can't keep track of when to pay your bills and when they're due, and you do decide to do AutoPay, make sure you decide to pay the full statement balance every month with your AutoPay. That'll keep you from paying interest, and plus it will help your credit score in some ways. Now I will say another thing, another con of AutoPay is it goes back to the first thing that I mentioned as far as not keeping track of how much you're spending. When you have a credit card, unless you have a charge card, you're gonna have a credit limit. So you wanna make sure you're keeping your utilization pretty low, because as I always state on this channel, utilization helps your credit score. So you wanna make sure that you're keeping your utilization intact. So how do you keep your utilization intact? You keep track of what you're spending and how much you're spending, how much of your credit limit that you're spending. And with AutoPay, you may not be able to do that, especially if you have multiple cards and you get caught in the habit of just spending here, spending there, and you never check your balances. You never log into your accounts to see how much you spent and how much you owe. Because some people may say, well, that's not possible because everyone looks at their statements. No, a lot of people don't look at their statements, especially people who get AutoPay. Why would they? If they feel as though they have the money in the bank to cover the bill, they don't necessarily feel the need to look at their statements. That's just how it is. Some people don't look at their statements. I promise you. Some people do not look at their statements. I know it's kind of bogus, but that's just what it is. So if you're one of those people, you may need to do self-pay and teach yourself how to do self-pay and just write down your due dates of when your bills are due. That way you'll be able to pay them on time on your own, and you'll know how much you owe, and you'll know how much you're spending. So there's pros and cons. I know some people, before seeing this video, they probably figured like, what's the con of AutoPay? But of course, there are pros and cons to just about anything. So when it comes to AutoPay, yes, there is some cons, and there are some cons. And you know, for some people, self-pay may be the better option. But anyways, this is just a short video on AutoPay, the cons and the pros of AutoPay. I have videos on credit cards. I have videos on how to build up your credit. This is Water Your Soil. I thank you for watching this video. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Hey, listen, once I get to a certain amount of subscribers, I'm gonna start going live and helping people with credit questions and things of that nature on live videos and live streams. So help me get my subscribers up, and let's get at it together. All right, I thank you for watching. I'm out. Water your soil.